doing nothing. We're just in this group and everyone's like, is this like legit? Like, are we in the right place? And then all of a sudden, 3 days, you guys, and this is very important, 3 days, we got all the information that we were going to need. So the time nutrition, the workouts that we didn't know the workouts yet because they were happening live, but the time nutrition, we had 3 days to prepare to start on July 31st. And so you guys have it made in the shade because they have been breadcrumbing it from the moment we've started the test group and then opened up the nutrition plan a whole week before you're starting the workouts, which is so amazing. And please don't forget, you know, what a blessing that is, because it is scary and it's a lot of work and it's new. So you feel like, I don't think I can do this because you're not used to it, because it's not your comfortable place, right? So we had we figured it all out, and it was hard to get used to in the first week or two, but I will say it got easier, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But we got to work out live with Autumn. So every day at 9 a.m., I'm on, Pacific time at 9 a.m. And so it was later in the day for anybody on the East Coast and stuff like that. But we worked out live. So she streamed her videos and we got to like be a part of the making of this program. And so like when you guys are doing this program, there's like no edits or anything happening. Like you're seeing them as they're going through the program for the very first time themselves as well. So you really get to learn a lot about them, and it feels very real, and Autumn's so authentic, and you just feel like you guys are getting to know each other on this like personal level, even though it's like through a screen. Like we couldn't talk to her. We were just streaming it through the computer. They were streaming it to us. And when I first started, it was hard to get used to, like getting the time nutrition. I set times on my phone. I had alarms. And if you go to your emojis and you look at those little cute color-coded hearts, I would put each time that I had and then put the hearts to tell me, okay, these are the containers that you're supposed to have at this time. And that was so helpful. And after about I'd say it took about 2.5 weeks, and then I just knew what I was going to eat, and my body was hungry at the times I was supposed to eat, and so I didn't even really need the alarm, but I kept it there because I was like, I'm going to make sure I do this 100%. So make sure you don't make it harder on yourself. Like set alarms. That is so not weird. Like your phone will just like do something that's going to help you remind what you're going to have. Don't sit there and feel like you have to memorize everything at one time. You don't. Make sure you're preparing your meals ahead of time, especially if you know that you are going to be busy throughout the day and stuff like that. It is important. You guys, this is timed nutrition. That's what this program is based off of. And so if you want to follow the program, if you want to follow 80-day obsession, make sure that you are doing the time nutrition between the 2 and 3 hours, or the workout block is so incredibly important. We saw for those people that didn't or weren't able to follow the workout block the way that they were supposed to, they would get lightheaded, they would feel tired, they would lose energy, because she's designed these workouts are 100% doable, but you are going to find that, you know, it's going to be hard, more challenging than most of the workouts that for like 21-day fix, but it doesn't mean that you can't do it. So don't let that hold you back either, okay? So don't put any limitations on your guys' self, because you guys are going to be so surprised with how much growth that you will have physically, mentally, emotionally, all of those things. So be sure to follow the nutrition plan. When the meal option 1 and the workout block and the meal 1, those are the only ones that you can kind of interchange. Everything else needs to kind of stay where it is. After the workout block, you could kind of put you know how the colors are grouped together and you can move groupings around. You can do that. but don't mess with the workout block more than just switching meal option 1 to meal option for breakfast in the workout block. For the post-workout block, like after you work out, that should stay the same. You need to fuel your body. If you're not drinking recovery, you might want to get yourself some, because your body will thank you. I could promise you that, because you are going to be so sore. Sore is good. Sore means you're getting stronger. Sore means that you've pushed yourself to your limit. So sore is a really great thing, but if you want to be able to sit and go to the bathroom and you really want to get the most out of your results, I would strongly encourage getting Recover, at least for the first phase, so that you guys can kind of get through it, because you're doing something new and then you're challenging yourself. Like, don't make it even harder than it already needs to be when we've got all these amazing tools set out right for you to make this as the most comfortable as it possibly can, while also being the most uncomfortable you've ever been. So it's finding the balance, okay? The pre-workout, I'm like, that's like my magical morning crack. I need it every single day. And I don't know what I would have done without the pre-workout, because it is so helpful, especially if you are an early morning worker-outer. Honestly, if you are worried about getting up earlier to eat, first of all, you getting up earlier to eat, you're giving your body energy. Right there is an energy source. So you getting up a little bit earlier, and I know that some people are getting up even earlier than I couldn't even imagine, but you're giving your body energy. So be sure to eat before your workout. Autumn she will eat and then go straight to working out. So you get to know your body. For me, I need a little bit of time before I eat and then work out, because I don't want to vomit everywhere. But like Autumn or my sister can eat and then go straight to working out. So you'll get to know your body and be able to figure out what's going to work best for you. But you have to make sure that you're eating a meal before, because your body is sleeping and you're building all that muscle. Your body, while you're sleeping, your body is putting this muscle together that you just worked your butt off, like to start tearing apart, and now it's repairing in your sleep, and then you're going to wake up and start working out, and it's going to undo everything that you just worked so hard for, because you don't have any energy sources for that energy for when you're doing a workout with no food. You need the food, so it's pulling the nutrients and the energy from your food that you just ate, not just the muscles that you just got. Like your body was repairing through the night, is what Autumn says. That's why there's like a science behind it, and you're going to hear all these people with all these different kinds of, intermittent fasting, keto, whatever it is. I don't care what it is, but this is the program. 80-day obsession is time nutrition with carbs, with fruits, and it's just very well balanced and portion controlled. So if you want to get 80-day obsession results, then you got to do the 80-day obsession program, okay? So the bands and the sliders, well, those little gems are harder than the weights. So you be prepared, because you're going to love and you're going to hate them all at the exact same time. Make sure that you are getting good bands and good sliders. You can go and buy these things so many places, but Beachbody's created them specifically to work for this workout, so that the tightness on the bands. You will notice if you go to Amazon and get bands, they are not going to be as tight as the ones that Beachbody are going to provide for you in your guys' packs. So with the packs, they're coming with a smaller loop size and a bigger loop size, because ladies, some of us got bigger thighs than others. So that's the only reason. There's no shame in using either size of bands that you get. Do know this: if your band is rolling a lot, the first couple weeks, it will, okay? It's not because you're doing it wrong. I promise you. You are getting used to something new, so they're going to roll a lot. Sometimes it might be because you're not pushing yourself hard enough. So you might need a heavier band. So you might need to go up a color. So if you are using a green band, then you might need to use a blue band, because if you are stronger than the bands, then they are going to roll up. So you're going to have to play with them. You're going to find your sweet spot on your legs where they're going to stay. Don't have them too high up on your thighs because they will roll, but don't have them too low on your knees, because then it's going to be bad for your knees. So that's my tips for the bands. Those sliders, I have so many people that tried to get sliders from Amazon, okay? You could use paper plates, whatever it is, but they aren't the same because the moves are created specifically with these sliders. So some of them you're going to need the little edge, where some of the sliders that you get aren't going to have those little edge. Okay, some of the moves that you do, your toes are going to be needing those little edges, or when you step down to be able to stop, okay? So there's a reason kind of why these things are important, and obviously do what you can with what you have, but personal opinion, I even went on vacation during 80-Day Obsession, and I had to get different sliders because I had forgotten mine at home, and when I was in the test group, and it did not do nearly as much as I was hoping it would, because the sliders are made for these workouts. The workouts are made with these specific sliders, okay? They actually just got done creating these bands for this workout specifically to help target all these areas. So make sure you guys have the proper equipment. You're going to need weights. You're going to need heavy weights, medium weights, light weights. And guess what? You're probably going to have to get another set of heavy weights, medium weights, and light weights as you go throughout the phases. Make sure you're challenging yourself. If you're starting in phase 1 with the exact same weights that you started in, or ending in phase 3 with the exact same weights that you started in phase 1, girls, you're not challenging yourself then. You have to challenge yourself, because you will surprise yourself with the amount of strength mentally. You guys probably physically are so much stronger than you even realize right now. Mentally, you're going to be like, wow, I had no idea I had this in me. And it's going to be so amazing. I have goosebumps talking about it, because the mental and emotional transformation it provided for me is literally like, I'm going to start crying, because it's magical. There's no other way of describing it. It's literally the most magical thing, and you're going to feel so incredible. Not only are you going to feel so incredible personally, because you just did something that every single one of you, I'm sure, you're doubting that you're going to be able to stick to, but you're going to, okay? Because it's a choice. And making a choice is all it is. The whole time I was doing this, I was like, I'm feeding my body. Food is fuel, not comfort. Food is fuel, not comfort. Food is fuel, not comfort. It was my mantra.
I don't know.
The entire time. Food is going to be there. Food is going to give me energy. Food is going to make me feel good. It's not going to sit there and make me feel tired. It's not going to make me sit there and feel guilty that I just binged and got like elbows deep in a bag of chips. It's not going to have that power over me, because I'm feeding my body to fuel my body, and then you're becoming stronger. And it's willpower is just like a muscle. The more you say no, the easier it gets. The more you do it, the stronger it becomes. And you can absolutely do it. I promise you guys. And the reason it feels scary right now is because it's out of your comfort zone. But this is something that I really want all of you guys to think about. Right now, where you're sitting, if you were to look in the mirror, if you were to think about your life, are you going to sit there and be like, I'm comfortable? Probably not. There's probably things that you wish you could change. There's probably things in life that you wish were better. You probably wish that you had more confidence so you can ask for a raise at work, or maybe you wish that you could fit into your smaller size pants. But even if you sat and did nothing right now, you really aren't actually in your comfort zone. Does that make sense? So like pushing yourself so far out of your comfort zone right now, it feels scary, But like, that is the sweet spot. That is like the prime time, because it's all about perspective. You can be really uncomfortable while bettering yourself and your life and everyone around you because you're taking care of you first. Or you can just be uncomfortable, not really in a comfortable spot, not really in a comfort zone. I do not feel like comfort zones even exist. You're just hiding from bettering yourself, from what you could do. You're putting limitations on yourself. You are like, you need to break that glass ceiling because you can do this. I promise you, and it's all mindset. Your bodies can handle it. If you need to modify, you modify. You get on the ground and you go to your knees and you do your push-ups. And if you need to take a break, you take a break, but you do not give up. You do not let it go down without doing at least one more push-up. I don't care if you have to take a break, but you are to push yourself as far as you can do it, and then add 3 more, as Shanti would say. So don't cheat yourself. And all of this, like the nutrition, okay, you can make food, you can eat. Keep it super simple, you guys. I know it might get boring. I ate literally almost the same thing every day. And then when I felt comfortable enough, I changed it up. But for me, I'm a creature of habit. That's what worked best for me. And I understand that may not work best for all of you, but maybe the next 80 days, because this is a lifestyle change. So your next 80 days, you can get all crafty and stuff with your meals and make them look as pretty as you want. But just feed yourself to fuel yourself. Don't feed yourself to make it look pretty. Don't feed yourself to make it feel comfortable and yummy and you know what I mean? Fuel your body so that you have enough energy. Make sure that you're sleeping. Sleep is so important. Brad Bishek, I'm pretty sure it was him, or Rob Peterson. I can't remember which one it was. But we were going through the phases and they were getting killer results, okay? And this is going to be really important. And then all of a sudden he hit a wall and he's like, what the heck? I'm not seeing the results that I thought that I would be seeing right now. I'm actually feeling more bloated and I'm doing every single thing right. And so Autumn and him were talking. She was super interactive with all of us. Well, he had a really rough week that week. So instead of his normal 8 hours of sleep, he was getting 7 hours of sleep. So he lost only 1 hour of sleep per night, but that's a whole night's sleep in 1 week. And that made all the difference in his results. So sleep is so important too. Drinking your water, eating to fuel, and sleep. Okay, because as soon as he started sleeping and getting his full normal 8 hours, because that's what he was doing before, then it went away and he didn't have to worry. Now, I am a twin mom, okay? I've lost a lot of weight. Now, during the 80-day obsession, I still got weight to lose. You know, I'm not in the maintain bracket. I'm in the weight loss bracket. But it was hard because there's people in there that were smaller than me, okay? Don't compare yourself to others, but naturally you're going to, okay? And they were getting results right away. And I'm like, what in the world? It is like 3 weeks in and I have not seen the scale move 1 pound. Not one, okay? And I was like getting discouraged, but I'm still trucking along. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. You guys, because the magic happens when you just let go and let your body do what it's supposed to do, okay? Trust the process. Because I didn't see the scale move 1 bit, but at the end of phase 1, I put my pictures together. Take pictures. Take videos, take pictures in 7 billion different outfits. I don't even care. If you don't want to post them in a sports bra and underwear and shorts, I don't care. Whatever you want to do, but do it for yourself. Please do that because you will be robbing yourself of everything. Because I put my pictures together and holy crap, you can see a huge difference. Beachbody posted it up on their page. But the scale didn't move. The scale did not move. The last week, on week 4, it moved a little bit, but the first 3 weeks moved nothing, okay? Now get this. If you guys Well, she posted my picture with this event, so you can see that there's a difference, okay? You look at the picture and you can see a difference, but only 13 pounds gone and 13 inches lost. So the numbers don't define you because the changes and pictures are going to be so much more. So no matter if your numbers are big or small, if you know that you're following the program, keep trusting it. Now, that does not mean that you get to be like, well, I didn't lose a lot, but I'm still kind of following it. Be honest with yourselves because you know if you're following it and you know if you don't, okay? So make sure you're not comparing your bodies to other people's bodies. Make sure that you're not defining your success by the numbers. If you follow Tulin, she's a plus size coach, and her results are in freaking insane, but she's down only 3 pounds. It's insane, you guys. So don't try to put expectations on your body. It's not up to you to decide how much your body should weigh and how much your body should lose while taking care of it. All you are to do is to take care of your mind, your mindset, trust the process, and allow it to work. Because when you try to have that control, then chances are things aren't going to change because there's something in that trying to have that control, it just puts so many obstacles in front of you, believe it or not. So, is there any questions? Should I go over more about like my mental journey through it, or I don't want to take up, I don't know how much time you're wanting me to take.
Ooh, we're willing to let you take as much time as you want. I appreciate all the information, and especially like what you're talking about even like Brad Bizjack, his story with the sleep. Like I think a lot of people forget how these programs, they run test group after test group on these. Like they're so solid, just like you're sharing. And you don't think of the small incremental things every day that over a week add up, and it's very specific. So that's like such a great like perspective to realize, hey, work it. If you want the results of the 80-day session, just like Autumn says in her group right now, and just like you're saying, you want the results the 80 days of session will give you, you have to do as close to that program as 80, because it's built to be the perfect example of what it can be. You're right. And like, I think that's awesome. I mean, I would love to hear about your mental journey. Does anybody else have any questions though? Like right now, does anybody have anything that they are like, what about this? What about that?
It's okay. One thing I do want to add. Imagine an hour a night of sleep making all the difference, okay? Imagine pushing yourself one more push-up, one more rep of each move that you wanted so desperately to be done with because your mind is telling you that you're done, but your body can do so much more, okay? Imagine if you added just when you wanted to be done and you added 2 more reps of each move, how much that would equate to at the very end, okay? Little tiny things make huge results. So even if you stopped at the end of 3 seconds of every single move, you are robbing yourself of almost like all of that kind amount of results, okay? Because it will all add up, okay? The mental journey throughout this was so incredible because I was in a really rough spot, you guys. Like, I was struggling. And I was very open about it. Obviously, as coaches, you kind of live your life through social media, and I was very open about it. And it was very apparent that I had put on weight, about 20 pounds within the year. I was putting, well, not even a whole year. It was like 6 months practically by the time I started the test group. And I'm someone that started with the 21-day fix. I had an eating disorder, okay? I did not know how to eat healthy. I grew up very crazy. My life was crazy. That's a whole nother story. But I started with the 21-day fix because I needed to learn how to eat, because I would eat whatever I want and then go throw up because I did not want the weight to come back when I was working hard, working out to lose weight. You can't outrun your fork though, right? And so for me, the 21-day fix was a lifesaver, okay? But 21 days is not enough time. It is not enough time to really go through the mental transformation, because you can do 21 days. Anyone can put in 3 weeks worth of work, okay? And you can get some serious kick-ass results doing those 21 days. But then the mental transformation has not fully happened. You think you've kind of got it down, but how many times can you do something for 21 days and then you just go straight back into old habits? Okay, 21 days is not enough time. Now, when I hit that 30-day mark, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I've done this for 30 days. And I was feeling a little emotional, and I was like, looking at my pictures, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can do this. And then round 2, so phase 2 happened, and I was running off the high of ending the first phase. But then you're smack dab in the middle of phase 2, and your mind starts playing tricks on you. And it's going to do this. And it's like, I cannot do this anymore. This is too much. I miss drinking wine. I want to be able to, like, I feel like I can't, live my life, when that was totally a lie. Like, my mind is trying to tell me all these tricks. Why was it that I was able to do it for these last 6 weeks, and then my mind's trying to tell me that I can't right now? And so then I looked at myself literally in the mirror, and I was like, you can do this, dude. You've been doing this for 6 weeks. What's a few more weeks of doing this? And so then once I got over that hurdle of my mindset, it became my all-time 100% favorite thing ever, because it provided me with the structure that I so desperately needed in my life. And when I actually looked at what it was doing for me, and I wasn't on the outside trying to tell me that I couldn't do it, and I was living in the moment and seeing what this was providing for me, and it was structure, because I am not naturally structured. I thrive on structure, and actually a majority of the human race thrive on structure. But we don't want to give it that control, right? So when you want to try to sit there and control things that haven't even happened yet, like you're going to fail, even though you're in the middle of actually doing it, and your mind's trying to play tricks on you. And then when you decide, okay, I'm not going to listen to I call it the negative shitty committee meeting in my head, and I'm not going to listen to that anymore. And when I decided that for myself, and I'm going to say this again because it's going to become full circle, when I made that choice to not think that way, not listen to those thoughts anymore, I became so free. And working out for 45 minutes to an hour was not hard. Eating to fuel my body was not hard. The only thing that was hard was me beating myself up the entire time, doubting myself that I couldn't do this. That was hard. Everything else, my body was perfectly made to handle healthy food, fueling it. It was loving it. My body was made to handle working out and exercising. And if you need to take a break, you take a break, but you can push yourself and you can do great things. Your body is so much stronger than your mind wants to believe. And so when I stopped letting my fear and my doubt, and also I had a fear of succeeding. What am I going to do with this if I actually succeed at 80 days? And a lot of times, most of us have a fear of succeeding because what happens after? Now what? What are we going to do? Then you're scared if you succeed and you get these amazing results, and then if you gain it back, everyone will notice. And then you have this shame. I don't want people to know if I gain this weight back. I don't want people to know if this isn't going to be long lasting like I am hoping it will be. But you guys, you have to just make the choice. This is going to be long lasting, and you can do this, and nothing is going to get in your way, and nothing is going to stop you. And then afterwards, when you do this, I will tell you exactly how it happened after it ended. I went to Vegas. And I enjoyed the heck out of it. And I came home in my brand new house, and I flooded it on accident. My whole house got flooded, you guys. And so then I'm living in a house that's dealing with construction that's lasting 3 weeks, right up until Christmas. Right before Christmas, my kids' birthdays. I've got 7-year-old twins. Their birthday's December 22nd, and then Christmas, and then my daughter and my son were supposed to get their tonsils out on the 27th. Well, my son got strep throat right before his tonsil surgery. My daughter got her tonsils out. It was terrible. Worst experience ever. She's fine now. My son, right now, downstairs, he has a fever. He still has strep throat. Again, and he's going to have surgery. And this whole time, from that moment from Vegas, when life is throwing obstacles at me every single way, through the whole time, I gave in a here and there from some treats and wanted to have some wine more than maybe a few glasses. But I have kept, for the most part, my results because the mental transformation was there. Okay? But I will say this. If all of those things happened while I was in the test group, I would not have allowed it to let me get far off track like I did when I was done with the test group, because I was self-sabotaging. If all of those things, actually during the 80-day obsession, there was a suicide in my family. Did I let any of that make me want to go and binge eat and be emotional and not work out and not do everything timed eating? I did not. I stayed on track, and it got me through that hard time because of the structure. I was able to handle it. My life is spiraling out of control afterwards, and I realized that it's a choice. If you want it bad enough, you will make it happen no matter what life throws at you. Because life is going to be throwing obstacles left and right. And chances are life is going to feel real hard during this 80 days, because whenever you're trying to do something for yourself and make things feel better for you, make your life feel better, make there more structure, that's when life is going to throw you the most challenges, right? And try to get you to fall off and try to get you right back to where you started, or to believe that you can't do it, or believe that this isn't the right time. It's never the right time. Life will always be happening. There's always going to be crazy things being thrown your way. So during this, I challenge you all, no matter what happens, no matter what is thrown at you, that you still stay on track, because you are creating such a stronger inside, stronger outside. You're creating so much structure that you will be able to handle all of those things so much better. Okay? But it's going to be hard because you're creating new coping mechanisms. So instead of going to food for comfort, you're having to learn what can you do to cope with this without self-sabotaging yourself at the same time. Okay? That's something that you're not going to get right away. So give yourself grace. Okay? It's going to be hard, and you're going to feel like going to what you know. Okay? So the pantry or the fridge or drinking or whatever your thing is, even the negative self-talk, okay? That adds weight. So make sure that you don't allow those things to get in your way, because you have a choice to let them be in your way, or you figure out your way around it. Okay, you take control over the situation. Don't let the situation take control over you. Okay, and that is also part of why the mental journey is so amazing, because you are making conscious decisions to not let something else take the power from you. You are keeping the power. Okay, allow yourself to keep the power. You are worthy enough to keep the power. You are strong enough to keep the power. You are going to keep the power, and you are going to make this work, because it is amazing. And you will be so amazed with how you feel. Everyone's asked me, are you nervous about doing this 80 days again? I'm like, no, I need it. I want this. I crave it. I want to do it again, because it literally changed my life so much that I want to live this structured all the time. A lot of people think that you're not living your life. For me, when you deal with depression and anxiety, you need structure, or you fall back into those things. So I'm super excited to have it happen again. My girl Emily, who she's also, like, you've probably seen her, her booty is like changed. Your guys' booties are going to be amazing. But it was life-changing for her. And she has a very similar testimony. She had a very rough year, 4 miscarriages, and she needed to do something to help her. And she feels so much better, and she is just as excited to be back into the routine of the 80-day obsession and have all of you guys join us. I'm telling you guys, if you allow it to be, it will be life-changing. But it's a choice. You have to let this change your life. Okay? You have to allow this to work from the inside out. You just follow the instructions. It's all laid out for you. It is idiot proof. Okay? It is laid out for you. And if you are having a hard time, reach out. I don't even care. I have people messaging me that aren't even on my team or anything, and I will help because I know the struggle when you're trying to get used to something, but you can do it. Was that good?
That was awesome.
Okay.
I think Ashton had a question. So for those of us that do morning workouts, she says, how do you deal with soreness in the mornings? Isn't there like a component of stretching and rolling and stuff like that?
So my advice to you guys is to stretch before bed. Okay? Especially because you're going to be working your hamstrings, you're going to be working your glutes, you're going to be working your legs like never before, and it's going to trick you. Your legs are going to feel sore, but you can experience lower back problems. That I did. And Autumn and I were talking, and I'm like, my back hurts so bad, and I know that I'm using proper form. I know I'm using my core. Are you stretching well enough? Well, probably not. When you aren't stretching your glutes well or your hamstrings, the muscles are pulling, and it's pulling on your lower back. So do yourself a favor and stretch. Get a foam roller. A thing that we were required to do was self-care. Baths, Epsom salt baths were amazing. Stretch before bed. On Sundays when it's a rest day, foam roll. Do more stretching. Do the stretching that's in the workout, and then add more stretching if you need to. You're going to feel sore, I think, no matter what. And then as you get towards the end of each phase, your body's becoming acclimated to the workouts that you're doing, and you don't get as sore. But then she thinks that you're like super in shape. Like you think that you're like, I can do phase 2 because I just got like so in shape with phase 1. Then she like throws a whole new thing at you, and then the soreness comes back. Okay? Stretching is so important. Massages, so important. I had a real fear of massages. I didn't like the idea of people touching me, and I have a real bad foot phobia. I didn't want anyone near my feet. Fun fact. But I finally went and did a massage because I needed it, and it was life-changing. Take care of your body. You only have one, and you are beating it up, and it's in a good way, but you have to, if you're going to beat it up, you got to take care of it at the same time. So definitely do those things. And you can stretch in the morning if you have time, but chances are if you're waking up, you're eating, like maybe after you eat and by the time you take your Energize, waiting for your Energize to kick in and you work out, lay on the floor, put on some personal development, listen to it. Listen to something positive while you're working out. It's going to make you not want to give up, okay? Now, and then stretch. If you're feeling sore, if your back is starting to give you problems, make sure you can even record yourself to make sure your form is correct, okay? But stretching usually is always the culprit. You need to stretch more. And when it hurts, you stay in the stretch, okay? Stay in it a little bit longer because that's when it's really working. Does anyone else have any questions? Literally any question. There's no stupid question at all, I promise you. And I'll give it to you honest.
Any questions? Everybody's got everything figured out. We're ready to kick booty on Monday. No questions. So one of the things that me and Jamie were talking about last weekend is, so you guys have all experienced a little obsessed. So it's going to be similar. So there's not going to be the clock, right? There's not going to be a countdown clock. So just everybody assume that every workout's going to be 55 minutes. And when it's not, then bonus, surprise. And then there's no music as well, which I think is really important because then you can listen to the cueing and the form and all those good things. So
yes. And like I said, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. There is a workout called Cardio Flow, and you're going to have to do it every week, and you're going to hate every single bit of this workout. And I promise you, you will hate it. But trust me when I say that is where you are going to need to push yourself the most, because you will see the most progress for yourself, because it is all cardio, okay? So prepare yourself. When you go through it and you sit there and try to convince yourself, my body can't handle this, it just can't do this one, is too hard. It's not because of your body, it's because it's a hard workout and you can absolutely do it, okay? So prepare your mind. I'm preparing everyone because it is hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but it's going to be worth it. Anything worth doing and putting in that kind of work and torture is totally like so rewarding. And at the end, when I was able to sit there and do Cardio Flow, I remember doing the last Cardio Flow and I started bawling my eyes out because it became like my most favorite thing, even though it was the most hated thing for me. And everyone, unless you're a cardio junkie, which those are very rare, but everyone hated it. But it was so amazing, and I will like literally be doing it again. And I'm actually kind of sad that they didn't have more of the Cardio Flow in A Little Obsessed. So if that tells you something, you know, it's worth doing.
perfect. No, that's awesome. I love it. I'm excited. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna lie. Like I was telling some of the girls here, because some girls are like honestly nervous, which I think is totally expected. And I was sharing, actually I was sharing with Misty yesterday that we've done a lot of these pilot groups. And I used to get really nervous before every one. And it was funny because the very first pilot group for 22-minute hardcore, my very first time that I had done that workout was with about 100 other coaches, with Tony Horton leading the workout. My very first time. And I was scared poopless. It was the best. It was the best experience ever, because what I noticed is, oh, that girl's like uber fit, and that girl may have 50 pounds to lose. We were all struggling. And it just opened my eyes that we need to do our best. It's not what somebody else does. It's not if you're on your knees or on your toes or whatever. You do your best, and you know that wherever you start, you're not going to finish, right? Yeah. You're going to be so far beyond that. So that really took that fear of these groups and turned it into excitement, because I'm like, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to get them all done and have it all be in a nice little bow. So I love that. I love that you shared that.
The thing, I love that you even said that, because I remember joining this group, and there were like, I was a little starstruck, I'm not going to lie, with some of the people that were in these groups. And I'm like, who am I, this little tiny fish, and this like really amazing sea of people? And I remember the encouragement, like no matter where you are at on your journey, it is your journey. It is like, my brand is Endless Victory. You are on an endless road to victory, and it will never stop, because you have never arrived, and you will never arrive, because we will always have something to improve on, every single one of us. And if it's not challenging you physically, it's challenging you mentally. And let the challenge happen, because that's where the growth is going to come from. Something else that I was going to say, what was it? Gosh, it was like so important in my mind, and I forgot what it was going to be. Comparing, when you're doing this workout and you feel like you're having to follow the modifier, and then you're like, well, this isn't going to work for me because you're modifying the modifier, it's okay. There were several people in the coach test group that had to even modify the modifier. There is no shame. Shame only exists if you allow it to be. If you're allowing shame to be there, then it's going to be there. But if you go in there, no shame, you're going to do what you can with what you have, and you're going to push yourself to your limits, because I don't know your limits. You don't know my limits. And I want to remind every single one of you guys, when I very first started my journey a few years ago, I was 217 pounds. I could not do a push-up. And every time I did a jumping jack, my stomach clapped for me the entire time because it hung over and it would hit. And I was always saying, it's my body cheering me on. It's my body cheering me on. And I remember being so embarrassed about it until I was like, I am not going to be ashamed of the fact that I'm putting my body to work. And yeah, my stomach is clapping and cheering for me the entire time, but this sucker is going to be going down. And it's going to be shrinking. And in this workout, you're going to see the vulnerability of Autumn and the cats, okay? You're going to see that they come down with colds. You're going to see that they're having a hard time. They're struggling mentally, or when she's on her period. She's very open about it. And she talks about, and this is something that really struck home with me, and you'll understand why. I have a phoenix tattooed on my arm. And she said, let yourself be a phoenix. Let yourself burn down to the ground. Let yourself feel like it's going to be so hard to where you can't do anything more, so that you can raise in flames, so that you can see your strength grow, so that you can see how far you have come. Sometimes we have to get on our knees and get to that level so that you can really appreciate where you're going and how far you have come from when you started. Okay? So let yourself be a phoenix. Let yourself fall and let yourself burn, and it's going to be hard, and you can cuss and scream and kick all the way through, but do not let yourself fail. When you fall to the ground, you are not to stay there. You are to pick yourself back up. You might be on fire. You might be crying. You might be whatever you're feeling. It's okay, because you are going to be meeting parts of yourself that you have been so ashamed of meeting the entire time. That is why you are here. You're going to be meeting parts of yourself that you've been hiding behind. You are going to be meeting parts of yourself that where you've been shoving food for comfort. Instead, you're going to have to see yourself and this problem and deal with it. So it's going to be hard. You're reopening wounds. Give yourself grace and be kind to yourself, because it's going to be so important through this whole journey. And let yourself go through the ups and the downs, because that's what's going to make the ups be so much sweeter. Okay? Sorry, I can go on rants all day long, but I felt like that was super important.
No, I love that. I love that. I think that that's just the perfect ending to our call, because it truly is. I mean, we all start this journey because we want to look a certain way or we want to feel a certain way, but when we really connect with it, it's a really emotional journey, and getting it right up here. And I love that, you burning down to the ground. Sometimes you can't go around the pain. Sometimes you have to work through it. You have to feel the ick and the suck to get past that. So I love that you
don't rob yourself of feeling.
Right.
Do not rob yourself of feeling it. It's such a gift. And anytime we feel, we decide that we're going to cope in ways that we should not. You know, whether it's my family, it's addiction, food, whatever it may be. It could literally be sitting on the couch and Netflixing, and so that you do not have to work through your feelings. Don't rob yourself of the feelings. Learn how to fight through the feelings and feel the feelings, because it's such a blessing, and you're going to know the difference in how to cope. I love feeling now, and before I did everything I could to numb anything, because I didn't want to feel nothing at all. Now I want to feel everything, and I want to taste it, and I want to feel it, but taste it not in food-wise, because I'm feeding my body with as food is fuel, not comfort. But you're going to be so surprised. Like, everything's going to be sweeter. And my son said it. It's magical. Let the magic happen, but do the work.
Yeah, perfect. I'm writing that down too. Happen, but do the work. Okay, so thank you so much for taking time out. And ladies, thank you all for popping on, because I know that we all want to be successful in this. And so, you know, really getting a roadmap from somebody that's been through it, we're super fortunate to have you here. So thank you so much.
Yeah. If you want to do another call again before the first phase, and if you want, or like when first phase ends and when third phase starts, let me know. I'd be more than willing to help however I can.
Awesome. Thank you. That's why I love our coaching community. It doesn't matter where you are. We're all one happy, huge family, which I just love. Yes. So anybody have any last questions before we let her go, or all of you guys go for your evening? No? Good. Okay. I wouldn't ask either, because it'd make me nervous.
And if you have any questions that come up later, just shoot them to me. If I can answer them, I will. If I can't, I'll pretend. I don't know.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Jamie. Bye.